You're listening to Retro Rewind with Dave Harris. One-on-one.
Retro Rewind.
Just wrapping up here with a little TFF, because, obviously you guys do have a big following. I know that, of course, we did an interview with Roland a little while back, and one of the stories he was saying about you is that he saw you doing, I wrote this down, The Last Days of May.
By Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the story on that? Can you
No, it's actually a true story. Yeah. He actually said... He told some truth? What's wrong with him? Basically, he had a band at school, and he was looking for a singer. We were 13, both of us at the time, and I was a big Blue Oyster Cult fan, and there was a live album called On Your Feet or On Your Knees. And I was singing along to Last Days of May, which is my favorite song on that record. And he's like, oh, you can sing. You want to come sing for my band? And that's how we started. I was only the singer. I didn't learn to play guitar until I was 16. And that's when we fired the bass player. And I thought, well, I could do that. So I learned to play bass.
You're a hell of a bass player, by the way. And in fact, I wanted to ask you a little bit, your style in a lot of ways. And right now I'm hearing your riffs and Head Over Heels. It reminds me a little bit of McCartney. Is Paul an influence on you?
As far as bass playing goes, I would imagine the only. I mean, in the sense of he's the one bass player I know that actually writes melodies.
Right.
I mean, they're melodies. They're not just root note, and hit it with the bass drum, which a lot of bass players do. But
John Deacon's pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, well, there are, I'm being facetious. There are a bunch of good bass players, but if anyone that always wrote melodies on a bass guitar, that would be Paul McCartney. Yeah.
Is that something you tried to do as well on your writing with the songs that you did with them? Tears for Fears?
No, without doubt, yeah. I mean, it was always about where that melody was going, as opposed to just following the bass drum and following the root note. It's really trying to... the joy of when there's a melody on a bass guitar is that the combination of everything is wonderful. When the bass is just doing one note, it's a bit dull. That instrument can do so many more things than that. And when that melody is included in it, you don't necessarily hear the melody, but you feel it moving. Right. It's really a feel of movement, as opposed to just static, which is, the one note and the bass drum. So the feel of movement is really what you aim for. You don't want it ever to be static.
Yeah, see, I'm Head Over Heels still, that's like, it's all about movement there on that one there. Just a couple more things. You guys are doing Nights of the Prom. Dennis DeYoung's a good friend of mine. I know he's excited about going over to Germany. Robin Gibb also on that bill. But what's the extent of Tears for Fears right now? I know you and Roland are you're back on good terms, but you're doing, your solo album, obviously, which we're helping promote for you. But what would you like to see from Tears for Fears in the next couple of years?
To be honest, for us, we're friends again. That's good enough. As far as anything else goes, we're actually quite relaxed about it. We're doing this Night at the Proms thing in the end of November, December. We're probably now going to do some shows next summer in America. And to be honest, in between us working together, he's back in England, we don't really talk that much about it. And then when we get together for a month, then we'll discuss it. And if any other things come up, we may just go, how about making another record or whatever. I mean, it may or it may not come up. We may or may not decide to do it. We have no preconceived ideas other than we'll take it a step at a time. We're both quite happy and content in our personal lives, and we're both very wary of the fact that we wouldn't want anything to come along to screw that up. So, we'll see.
Yeah, you guys are both fathers now. I'm sure that helped contribute to your breaking some of the silence, right? Because you guys...
Oh, yeah, no, without doubt. I mean, we have far more important things to deal with than petty squabbles we may have with each other. When we used to fight when we worked together before, it's like that was it. Tears was all we had. Tears for Fears was all we had. Now we'd be in the studio, and if we disagree with something, we'd be like... Let's leave it to tomorrow. I'm going home. Yeah. See my kids, have dinner, right. Take some time away. Well, and also take, stuff that matters, and also just forget about that. Come back with a fresh head tomorrow, see how it feels. And so, we're both fathers. Our kids are the most important things in our lives, and if music manages to get in there somewhere, and we manage to work it out. I mean, like next summer, if we do shows in next summer, the reason would be is because Roland his kids are off school in England. He'll come to America for the summer. He's here for the summer. Why not do some shows? Right. So that'll be the reason why is working around his kid's school year. So as far as recording, who knows? But we'll see.
All right. And before we wrap up, Curt, there's a couple of things Roland wasn't able to do for us. We have a feature on the show called Tales from the Top. You guys should have had 3, but you had 2 number ones here. Sewing should have been a number 1 hit. Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson kept up.
See, yeah. But Shout, and of course you leading off with Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Can you give us separate stories for each of those 2 number ones, real quick? Maybe about a little bit of the genesis of the song, or what you were doing when you found out it hit number 1.
Well, I mean, Shout's on Hard. I mean, Shout was kind of started just as a chorus, and we never thought it was like the big single, even though the record company did. And then, initially, and then we recorded and we're like, yeah, this is catchy. And it's really a protest song. That's all it is. It's there's nothing sort of overtly deep and emotive that's underneath exactly what it says. It became, I guess, I don't know when it became number 1 in England. I mean, the different thing was Everybody Wants to Rule the World was released in America first. So Shout actually was our first single everywhere else in the world. So it was a confusing time, because Shout was number 1 all across Europe, and in America they decided they wanted to release Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which we really didn't think was a single. And we went, okay, I guess you know what you're doing. And I remember exactly, I was actually recounting just 2 days ago to a friend of mine where I was when that happened in America. And we were shooting the Head Over Heels video when Everybody Wants to Rule the World became number 1 that day. And I don't know if you've seen this. The reason we were talking about, there's this Head Over Heels literal version video.
We just saw it today.
Freaking genius.
Great. Okay, it's cool that he says this.
It's absolute genius.
I wasn't going to say anything.
No, it's already posted on my website. I mean, it's up there as the featured video. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Here comes the keyboard. And party in the back.
Oh, I love
sweater from the Gap.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, yeah. Why is that rabbi walking there?
Yeah.
And
giving away all the good secrets.
Exactly. So someone was like, they'd seen that video, and they said, "You remember where you were when you filmed that video?" I was like, "Yeah, I remember. I was, we were on the middle of a tour, and I was sound asleep because we were playing shows every night. And like, by the way, tomorrow you're shooting a video before playing the show tomorrow night, and so I'm like not doing anything for 2 hours, like it's not my scene, whatever. So I'm fast asleep. I'm like, it's the only chance I'm going to get to sleep today, and someone woke me up." And they're like, "By the way, Everybody went to number 1 in America." And I'm like, "Can I just sleep a bit more? Yeah. It'll still be number 1 when I wake up." Right. And that's the sad thing about when it's that busy and when you're touring and doing things. It didn't hit home that much. I mean, it was great. I mean, it was a fantastic feeling. But at that point in time, I'm like, I want to sleep.
He found out on a Wednesday, because that's when Billboard does those charts, on Wednesdays. Yeah. But it was it was very I'm sure good for you guys at the time there. And just one more thing, that was, you guys were 24 when that hit number 1. You're writing songs like Shout in your early 20s. I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah. Well, we're writing songs when we were 18 called Ideas as Opiates, but that's just the way we are. We're a little perverse.
All right. Well, can I get you to do a couple?
We read too much. That's the problem.
Is that what it is? Yeah. All right.
Retro Rewind
with Dave Harris. Retro Rewind. Retro Rewind. One on one.